Notorious.
Big it up, big it up.
Yeah. Hearing my voice.
Yeah.
Here we go.
Yeah.
Here we go.
Ooh, what is up, everybody, and welcome to another episode of the Notorious NerdyD Casual Wrestling Show, the single greatest casual wrestling podcast on the internet. I am your host and still your notorious pay-per-view champion, NerdyD, and joining me, two-time loser,
Whatever.
on the mic, or not on the mic, on the boards and the what do I usually say? Why am I drawing a blank right now? Working the mics and the cameras. There it is. My better half, Level Up Lauren.
What's up, y'all?
Each and every week, we take a journey through the world of professional wrestling, all while learning from you guys, the audience, through your comments on social media. Make sure to like and subscribe to the show on YouTube at Notorious NerdyD Wrestling Show, or subscribe on your favorite podcasting network. We are on Spotify, Google Podcast, and officially on Apple Podcast. Make sure to leave a review or a comment to help us get into the algorithm. Tonight, we make the definitive list of the best women's wrestlers in the world. But first, we have a new Notorious Internet pay-per-view champion dethroning the former Unknown Lee that we never were able to make contact with. He just came in, stole the belt, CM Punk'd his ass out of here. But we have a new Notorious Internet pay-per-view champion. Your new reigning and defending Notorious Internet pay-per-view champion is friend of the show, Corey Lowe.
Yay.
Congrats on fucking nailing it, Corey. I thought we were going to have quite a few people that ended up like with pretty good cards. This man nailed everything. He didn't miss one match.
That's crazy.
He was perfect. I was trying to like give myself a flawless victory by going like, well, you know, technically The Miz and Mysterio was a pre-show match, but nah, this man nailed it. Everything, top to bottom, right on cue. You know, everything. None of us got the Usos because of what happened. So, but he nailed it from from top to bottom.
That's
right?
crazy.
But let's be honest for a minute, Lauren.
Okay.
Let's be honest. There's only one heavyweight title.
That you stole that from me.
And you thought you were going to dethrone your boy.
I did.
You thought you were coming for the title. And I told you a couple weeks ago, this is going to be a long, illustrious title run. This is going to be a Roman Reigns-esque run. This is an old school wrestling title run. I'm taking this from territory to territory, flexing my muscles, right? I didn't pull a Corey. I wasn't perfect, but I got the job done.
You did.
So I am the defending world universal notorious heavyweight champion. I'm going to make that longer and longer every time I say it. I'm going to add as many buzzword like heavyweight, world universal.
I thought that sounded a little bit longer than last time.
It is. It's getting better. The belt just, it grows and grows and grows. All right. Now, speaking of championships and champions, right? We have a little bit of business to attend to here.
Okay.
We have a little issue of a certain title belt, okay? And we're not talking about the Notorious title belt. We're talking about a different title belt, right? Because a couple weeks ago, I openly called out Liquid Death Mountain Water, right? Because all your boy NerdyD wanted was a poster. They even voted in one of our polls, right?
Yeah.
Am I correct? They voted in one of our polls. They said, yes, they should send me a poster or swag or something, right? That's all I wanted, something, right? But here we are 2 weeks later. Crickets. I haven't heard shit from them. No swag in hand. And I'm feeling a little bit disrespected. I'm feeling I know how Roman Reigns feels. So I'm going to look into the camera and I'm going to say this with conviction. Liquid Death, acknowledge me. You need to acknowledge me. The CWC has embraced your mountain water. I'm out here pushing product, man. The CWC has ordered not just cans, Lauren.
Uh-huh.
We're out here ordering cases.
Mm-hmm.
We're ordering cases of that mountain water, of that sweet, sweet liquid death.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm here as promised until I get my liquid death title belt. You guys, you did a Super Bowl commercial. You got Super Bowl money, man. So until I get a liquid death title belt, they got me out here drinking Chuck Norris piss water. This is peasant water. What the fuck? This is Chuck Norris premium artesian water. I figured if I drink C-Force, that maybe it would turn me into like a badass like Chuck Norris, and I could whoop that fucking muscular can thing that runs around. Have you seen their mascot?
Yeah, I like it.
I do too, but I'm gonna whoop his ass. If I see him on site, we're fighting, me and him.
Bring it.
In fact, if I don't get some kind of acknowledgement by next week, I am going to seek that man out and I'm going to whoop his ass. I'm going to, right? Because all I'm asking for is a title belt. Your boy's asking for a title belt. The guys over at Trophy Smack, they make a hell of a title belt. Mm-hmm. I've ordered one before.
Yeah.
It would look real nice with Liquid Death logos all over it right here on this lonely shoulder. I could be NerdyD 2 belts.
Yes, sir.
It's not a problem, right? Or fuck it. You guys, you're Super Bowl guys. You probably got a belt guy. I'm guessing they got a belt guy, right?
Yeah, they got that Super Bowl money.
They got that Super Bowl money. Just make your boy, Notorious NerdyD, a title belt, and I'll carry it everywhere. I swear to God, I will carry it we go to dinner, me and you, date night, belts coming with us.
Exactly.
We take our children to a cheer competition, belts coming with us. Mm-hmm. You get me a title belt, I'm going. I am going to WrestleMania 38. I'm making it happen. I will go. I will rock the title belt. I will wear it around fan access. I will wear it at the event. I will make sure that every person I meet takes a picture with that title belt. You can't pay for this exposure, Liquid Death. Mm-hmm. I'm serious. We're on the come up here in the CWC. And you better jump on this train because it's happening. And if you don't like it, then I'm going to get a Chuck Norris piss water belt and I'll wear that thing at WrestleMania.
Yeah.
I mean, imagine how many people would want to take a picture with like a sweet ass Liquid Death
Hell yeah.
belt.
There's just something about when you go to wrestling events, you see somebody with a belt and you need a picture with it.
Exactly. And then something as unique as Liquid Death, right?
Yeah.
It's put up or shut up time.
Do it.
It's put up or shut up time. I'm calling on the CWC. This time, when this video goes live, I need everybody to @ Liquid Death. Let's make them hear this. They need to hear this. They need to tell me no. I need them to tell me, shut the fuck up. Just shut up, guy. We don't have time for this, right? All right, so our poll for the week. Man, I didn't realize that we had done so many Hall of Shame polls already.
Me neither.
When I went back to kind of calculate, I said we would do it like up until WrestleMania, but I think we've put together a highly solid list for 2022, right? And I'm kind of worn out on negativity.
Okay.
All the negativity that surrounds TikTok and all these bitter ass people who come after us for just enjoying talking about wrestling. I'm over the negativity right now. We're heading into March. March is my month. We got rid of the Greenbeard fuck. Mm-hmm. We don't have to deal with him anymore, right? I'm cruising in positivity right now. So I figured we could do our part this year in positivity, and we're going to switch over from doing the Hall of Shame to officially starting in March.
Yeah.
You can put up, this is graphic 2. We ran right past graphic 1, but that's okay.
Okay.
Starting in March, we're going to be doing the Notorious March Madness polls, which will consist of 64 of the greatest wrestling theme songs, and we will narrow it down, us and the listeners together, to figure out what is the most notorious wrestling theme song of all time. Now, how that's going to work is that we're going to do 32 of my choices.
Okay.
So I'm going to choose 32 of my favorite theme songs. Then there will be 32 at-large bids, which means 32 suggestions from listeners.
Mm-hmm.
So for the next, what we have, a week and a half left in February,
Yeah.
I want people to suggest different wrestling theme songs for us.
Okay.
So instead of a poll this week, we'll be taking suggestions for the bracket. We'll come out with a cool big bracket, and weekly we'll narrow this thing down and we'll get hyped up and talk about it, man. I'm excited about that.
Okay.
And keeping with this like March positivity vibe, even though it's February, my head's already in March.
I know.
Keeping with the positive vibes this week, I want to run our first ever Notorious giveaway. I'm thinking it's time like we give something away. And I was going through the WWE shop and I came across these cool Brock Lesnar t-shirts.
Okay.
They're Brock Lesnar t-shirts and then you get to customize it with the city that you live in.
Oh shit, that's cool.
So I want to give away one of these customized Suplex City t-shirts from WWD.com. So what you need to do to enter this contest, you need to do the following. You need to subscribe to us on YouTube or on Instagram.
Okay.
At Notorious NerdyD Wrestling Podcast on YouTube, and I think it's Notorious NerdyD on Instagram. If you don't already, then subscribe on there, and then comment in the comment section of one of the videos your favorite moment at Elimination Chamber plus the hashtag Notorious NerdyD.
Okay.
And we will randomly select one winner and send you the Brock Lesnar t-shirt.
All right.
And we will be pulling the names from the comment section. So the only way to enter is to actually, follow those
Comment.
rules. Yeah.
Okay.
I'm not going to just do it from.
I'll be following up, checking it out.
Yeah, I'm not going to just do it from who's following the channel. You have to actually go in and comment on the video and tell me your favorite Elimination Chamber match, right?
All right. Good luck, people.
Let me drink some more of my piss water before we get into overreactions here.
Yeah.
All right. Overreaction time.
Okay. Let's go for it.
All right, let's overreact to some wrestling this week. I'm not going to do this in the traditional way I used to do where I went show by show. It's a little hard to organize like that because there's starting to be a little bit of like this crossover where guys are traveling back and forth between shows. So it's weird to talk about them and then not talk about them and then talk about them again when I get to the next show. So instead, I'm just going to kind of organize my thoughts from the last week of wrestling and talk about it just in a series of kind of my random thoughts. Because that's what these end up being anyway. They're just random overreactions I have during the week. So let's jump right into it right off the bat, right? Right off the bat, can we talk about how the fuck is Madcap Moss still alive?
Dude, I have no fucking idea.
What the fuck? His spine had to pop out of his butthole.
I agree.
He compacted straight down onto that mat.
I agree. I mean, like his fucking neck, I was just like, oh my God.
I've always been a fan of Madcap Moss. I enjoy him and Corbin, even though most people don't, but like new level of respect because I gotta believe he didn't know where he was after taking that fucking shot, right?
Yeah, for sure.
I hate suplexes. Suplexes are the move where they grab them around the waist and they flip them backwards over the top. Yeah. I never feel like a guy lands correctly. I cringe every time someone does a suplex. And it's not, I don't cringe like in a negative way because I know these guys are super talented and they know what they're doing, but I've never seen a suplex that I didn't think might have murdered the person.
True.
And maybe that's the effectiveness of the move, right?
I just think they look really cool, but every time I think somebody's deadly, I always ask you, are they really hurt? Are they really hurt?
At that point in time, I thought he was really dead.
Yeah.
I know as a casual wrestling fan, I don't understand the talent that's needed to do a move like that, but I can respect the art of the suplex. It just makes me cringe every time I see it. And that Madcap one, man, oh my God, that was nasty. I think Madcap takes a lot of heat because he and Corbin are just genuinely good at being the annoying bad guys.
Yeah.
Right? And I think that they genuinely kind of dislike him. But I thought that was a solid match. I thought it did exactly what it needed to do to get him over. Mm-hmm. And I just wonder, what are we heading towards at WrestleMania with that match, right? Are we going to get Drew McIntyre versus Corbin? Or are we going to get maybe a 2-on-1 with Corbin and Happy Madcap Moss versus Drew? Or are we going to get some form of a tag match with Drew McIntyre getting a partner? I do think back in the day, Drew McIntyre and Cody Rhodes were a little bit buddy-buddy.
Were they?
Yeah, I believe so. So that might be a cool way to reintroduce Cody back in. Kind of a slow way. But overall, I don't know your thoughts, but I thought Elimination Chamber as a whole was extremely entertaining.
I agree 100%. I really liked it.
It was slightly predictable, but it was entertaining. I use the word entertaining. But right now, I'm kind of not relative. I mean, I'm surprisingly happy with the WWE product heading into WrestleMania. I usually have a lot to bitch about.
Yes, it was exciting.
And I'm kind of excited with what I believe is shaping up on our way in. And I know that's kind of an unpopular opinion these days, right? To be happy with the WWE.
That's true.
You're not cool. You're not part of the IWC unless you're shitting on the WWE, but they can kiss my white ass right now. I'm enjoying this, and that's all that fucking matters to me. And maybe I have blinders on, right? But strap me to a rocket, a WWE rocket, because I'm on for the ride on this one. I'm excited. I am. And one of the things that makes me most excited is the women's division, right?
Yes.
The women had a hell of a night in Abu Dhabi between the chamber match, which I thought was good. Becky Lynch and Lita. I thought that was good. I thought all the way around, Charlotte, Ronda, Naomi, Sonya, I thought that was good. I didn't see anything that I didn't like in the women's division, but can we start by talking about how fire those attires were this time in Abu Dhabi? Because last time I took a lot of shit for saying I thought it was stupid they were wearing oversized t-shirts. They looked like they were in pajamas last time.
It's like you just had like a pajama party and like it was pillow fight time.
And this just proved me right. This just proved my point. You can do the whole respectful thing and still have some swag in what you're doing. I thought some of the outfits were even better than like people's current attire.
Agreed.
I thought Dewdrop's outfit. I don't like the like gumdrop swimsuit thing on her.
Yeah.
I just think it doesn't make her feel scary.
It looks like a little kid playing dress up.
It does. Yeah. I mean, it feels like a kid in a bathing suit. And she had on that kind of leather outfit with the plaid built into it. I thought that looked dope as fuck.
Yeah.
I was all about that. I wanted her to come out in that on Monday Night Raw. I liked Rhea Ripley's fit. The black leather with all the spikes and stuff like that. That's right in tune.
So cool.
You know, because how do you do Rhea Ripley in an oversized t-shirt?
Yeah.
It just doesn't work.
No.
And I know, man, I know you like this one. I even thought that the Liv Morgan Britney Spears tribute, the Oops, I Did It Again outfit.
Hell yeah.
I thought that was fire, man. That was a cool little tribute. I don't understand what the fuck it has to do with Liv Morgan at all.
She always does like certain little tributes to things. I like it. I always look forward to her outfits.
I guess, you know. But I've seen, so speaking of Liv Morgan, I've seen kind of a weird turn this last week from the IWC, right?
Okay.
The kind of deep internet wrestling community, they've done their best to try to kind of huddle up in a little hipster troll circle. and they're back on the warpath to shame people who like something that's popular, right?
Okay.
And this has been a weird little swing from certain people. I'm not going to name their names because I'm tired of naming Greenbeard fuck and all these other people. And I don't know what he said, to be honest with you. I'm not, that's wrong. I don't know what he said in this. I blocked him. I don't see what he says. So I'm not going to put that juju on him. I think he probably actually is a Bianca Belair fan. So I'm wrong for that.
All right.
But I have seen a heavy presence of the IWC going after Bianca Belair in light of trying to build up Liv Morgan, right?
Okay.
They think it's cool to shit all over Bianca Belair now. And I don't know what there is to shit on about Bianca Belair.
Why?
The consensus I've seen from the CWC style creators, guys that are friends of ours, is that like that these people are kind of leaning into Liv Morgan's looks, right? Mm-hmm. That a lot of these IWC guys, they find attraction with Liv Morgan, so they there's a negative attitude towards Bianca Belair, like she did something wrong, right? It's 2022, so I don't know the fucking rules of what I'm allowed to say and not say anymore. Do you? I mean, you're a woman. Do you have what I'm allowed to say and not allowed to say when it comes to the attractiveness of a wrestler?
Yes, I think that you're allowed to comment on the attractiveness because it does play in.
Because
to the popularity.
Because let's be honest, right? We got to be real brutally honest here. If we're just talking skill and talent,
yeah,
is there any argument to be made between Bianca Belair and Liv Morgan?
No.
It's like there's a huge distance between them in skill and talent. And so I'm not even willing to debate on that part. Most things I'm open to talk about, but I won't talk about that. Now, I don't know if maybe this is an unpopular opinion. And I don't know, like I said, I don't know, I'll get called out for fucking having an opinion, a fucking, old bald white guy having an opinion on women's wrestling. But to me, Bianca Belair is the more attractive of the two wrestlers. That's just my opinion. Not that even matters. So I don't know. That's a weird argument to me anyway. Liv Morgan's kind of cookie cutter to me. I think
they're both pretty, so I wouldn't be able to.
I think they're both attractive people too, so I don't have a problem with that.
But see, I would be team Liv.
That's fine, but I think that's perfectly fine. But I just think that it's a weird thing to take a side based on that, right? Yeah. I'm just giving my opinion. But who's making the argument that Liv Morgan should be in the main event of WrestleMania, right? Who's making an argument that Liv Morgan versus Becky Lynch is a better match than Bianca getting her redemption for the SummerSlam squash? I thought we as a fan base were all signed up for this story. I thought we had come to terms with the fact that they squashed Bianca because somehow, some way, eventually she was going to get her redemption, right? Mm-hmm. Bianca and Becky is the money match. I'm highly invested in that story.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Becky is quite possibly the biggest draw in women's wrestling, and Bianca is not far behind. And I'll go on to talk about this later, but Bianca is the John Cena of women's wrestling, right? Mm-hmm. We need to stop it, IWC, with these comparisons of Bianca to Roman Reigns. She's not being shoved down your throat. You may not like it because she's being successful and she's doing everything she needs to do to get over. She's not being shoved down your throat. You can't go hipster on us. On this one, this is the one where you're not gonna prove your point. I think that small, loud minority of IWC that are screaming Liv Morgan deserves some different point of recognition. We all recognize who she is.
Yeah.
I've said it over and over. She's not quite there.
True.
She's on her way.
Her mic skills need to improve.
She's not quite there.
I agree. Liv Morgan.
And speaking of IWC stuff.
Yes.
Lauren, you showed me some articles and things of the internet wrestling sleuths that are attacking Bobby Lashley right now, right? Yeah. And WWE. Because Bobby didn't apparently hit his head hard enough when he took his bump inside the chamber. So how can we sell this as a concussion? Bobby didn't hit his head hard enough. Mm-hmm. I got the point. Did you get the point?
Yeah, I thought he was really fucking hurt.
I got the point when he fell backwards that somehow, some way he's hurt. They chose to go with concussion. Cool. In real life, I think he hurt his shoulder. Don't know why we don't just go with that as the reason, but whatever, right? But I think with 2022, with the knowledge that we have with CTE and stuff like that, we don't want guys taking fake bumps where they hit their head.
True.
I'm okay if we just all have to imagine he hit his head. Mm-hmm. I'm fine with that. I don't need to go deeper than that. He sold it. He sold it well enough. There were point in times where me and you thought, hey man, is he really hurt?
Yeah. I was trying to figure out, is he stabbed? What's going on?
He sold it. He sold it decently. He was on the outside of the ring for a little bit. Then they got him to the back. And I think if he, indeed he is really hurt, cool way to get, props to to Bobby Lashley for going in there and just, taking the bump at all.
Yeah.
But this is leading us to Brock Lesnar destroying everyone else in the ring, right? And I told you, Brock's got to be last because once he comes out, he's just going to work his way through the poor guys that are in the ring.
True.
And he ended the match giving Austin Theory a hell of a bump there. So shout out to Austin Theory because that's a scary fall to be dropped on an F5 from the top of that pod.
Oh, hell yeah.
And just land. That's got to knock the air out of you. And the match ended with Brock in the ring holding the title belt, shaking off a little testicle pain. I think that low blow that he took in the match.
He might got
wrestling might be
ball tip.
scripted, but that shit ain't fake.
Yeah.
He took a real shot to the balls there.
Yeah.
And here we are, right? Brock is the WWE champion. Mm-hmm. WrestleMania is all set, right? It's champ versus champ, right?
Yes, sir.
Right?
Yes, sir.
Or kind of?
Yes.
Because now they're saying at Madison Square Garden, Bobby Lashley gets to fight Brock Lesnar on a Saturday in a premium live event or a nameless event. Maybe it's a Super SmackDown. I don't know what the fuck they're calling it. I haven't seen what they're labeling it yet. But Brock now has to fight Bobby Lashley, even though Bobby's apparently hurt.
Yeah.
And then the announcers, though, keep saying it's official. Champ versus champ at WrestleMania 30. So I'm so fucking confused. WWE has this weird branding thing where they just, the message is so fucked up. But whether we like it or not, Brock's not losing the belt. He's carrying that thing into Mania, and we're getting champ versus champ. And while I've been a strong supporter of our tribal chief, and I have respected the head of the table, I think at this point in time, right now, I'm leaning on being Team Brock, man.
I love Brock Lesnar.
Hashtag Team Brock. I think between Cowboy Brock, between the Pat McAfee interview, I think I've converted. I think I'm a Brockaholic. I don't know what the proper term for being a Brock Lesnar fan is, but whatever it is, that's what I am.
Definitely Brockaholic.
Monday Night Raw, did you catch all the numerous Cody Rhodes teases that they threw out?
No, I didn't.
So they were teasing it, and I don't know if that was WWE or just like The Miz being clever. But The Miz made a few quips about his partner at WrestleMania being the dashing one, right? Or he was dashing. And that's Cody Rhodes' old gimmick. He was the dashing Cody Rhodes, right? Mm-hmm. And then he mentioned he comes from a fighting family, which you would assume you got, old Dusty Rhodes, you got Cody Rhodes, you got Gold Dust, you got all the Rhodes. They're fighting family, right?
Yeah.
Nope. The Miz is partnering up with Logan Paul.
Yay.
Nah, I'm really excited about that.
I am too. That was my sound effect, like, yay.
It felt like a little condescending there.
No.
Logan Paul's a big son of a bitch.
He is.
He's a big boy. Mm-hmm. And I knew he was a little bit big, but he's a big boy. As far as celebrities go at WrestleMania, we could do a lot worse. We could get Snooki back. I feel like Logan, he's got an athletic background. He's a smart guy. He's a good marketer. He'll sell the match. I feel like when he picks up a microphone, he knows how to talk.
Yeah.
He's been in the public eye enough. This isn't scary for him. He loves being the bad guy. And he kind of fits the Miz's brand, right? Mm-hmm. Like, he is the perfect celebrity partner. And this is where the Miz does so well for WWE. It's his ability to kind of transcend and appeal and integrate with like celebrities. So, if we're going to have a celebrity at WrestleMania, which I'm never a big fan of, we could do worse than Logan Paul. We could do worse, right?
Yeah.
Now, speaking of Cody Rhodes teases, I had a strange suspicion as I watched Monday Night Raw, and Edge came out and cut a hell of a promo.
Okay.
That promo where they were like zooming in on his face and they like just cutting him right here, and it was good and it was intense, and it was Edge telling us how fucking good he is at WrestleMania. And just side note real quick, Edge is a cool looking dude.
Yeah.
He got like the wrestler look.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like if you're just putting together straight up wrestler, Edge he's got just everything. A guy for his age to still look like that, man, shout out to Edge, right? Mm-hmm. But back to playing fantasy booker here. Edge came out and he cut this promo, and I do think that we underrate Edge at WrestleMania. He's had some big WrestleMania matches, and he's had some of my favorite WrestleMania matches, right? What a better way, and I feel like I'm going to try this like 10 times in this episode because I just feel like Cody Rhodes going to fit in somewhere. But what a better way to introduce Cody into WWE or back into WWE than to put him in a big WrestleMania match against Edge.
True.
With Edge kind of calling out the roster and saying, I've done everything I could do. What more is there to do? Boom, here comes Cody. I think it would be excited. Now, I don't think that's what we're getting. The realism in me says that's not what we're getting. I really think we're going to get Edge versus AJ Styles. And I'm all about that. I'm 100% on board with that match. That seems like two extremely talented guys. AJ works well with guys that work like Edge. Edge is a little bit of a brawler, I'd say, just a little bit. And AJ works well with guys like that. They both can sell a story. And if it's AJ versus Edge, that's going to be a hell of a match. But so far, like when I look at all of the matches that are kind of lining up for WrestleMania, I can't find one I dislike.
I'm excited.
Like I'm not mad that we got Miz and Logan versus the Mysterios. Yeah. I'm not mad at Charlotte and Ronda. I'm not mad at Becky and Bianca. Mm-hmm. I'm not mad at champ versus champ, right? I'm not mad at any of those things.
They've got good storylines behind
What I am nervous about, though, is the whole Kevin Owens and Seth Rollins situation, right?
Okay.
It bothers me because this whole title versus title thing for the main event, it's left both of these guys feeling just a little bit displaced. And I'm still holding out hope. I know there's a lot of people didn't like the fact that we talked about Stone Cold coming back to fight Kevin Owens. A lot of people said Stone Cold don't got it.
Oh, Stone Cold.
Stone Cold's got one left in the tank. I believe that wholeheartedly. Now, whether or not he comes back and he comes to Mania, I don't know. But I'm still holding out hope that this Seth Rollins and Kevin Owens thing either flourishes into something like legitimate, or that they're just kind of pairing them together and Stone Cold's going to appear a little closer to WrestleMania, right? I could see them getting screwed out of this tag team title match, leading to the Alpha Academy versus Seth and Kevin at WrestleMania, and I'm okay with that being the match. Alpha Academy versus Seth and Kevin. That's fun, right? The only problem is that displaces RK Bro, right? And with 6 weeks to go, is that enough time for them to properly build a Randy Orton versus Riddle match? Because that's the only, if Randy Orton and Riddle aren't in the tag team title match, then they're going to be more than likely fighting each other, right?
True. Has
to be. It's the only thing that makes sense. The Stone Cold Steve Austin rumors, they're fun, but I do believe in my heart of hearts, even though I think he's got one left in the tank, Stone Cold will be at WrestleMania. Stone Cold will come out and just stun somebody. It'll be the thing. It gets the big pop. I think he's got it in the tank, but whether or not he wants to take the bumps, I think he could. I think he has one more match in him. I do think Stone Cold has one more match. He can brawl and he can avoid big bumps. And so if he goes out there and brawls for like 7 to 10 minutes, it doesn't need to be a big long match. And that's all people shitting on Kevin Owens. Like, why would he come back for Kevin? I feel like Kevin is put in a lot of fucking work, especially in this run up to WrestleMania. He's put a lot of guys over even from day one. So he deserves that kind of respect from someone like Stone Cold Steve Austin. And I think Stone Cold does respect Kevin Owens.
Yeah.
It's the reason he turned the stunner over to him, right? And so how cool would it be at WrestleMania to see Kevin Owens go over Stone Cold with a Stone Cold stunner?
Oh, that
like that just seems like you can't write a better story than that.
Yeah.
I'm excited, but we'll see. We'll see what happens. Like I'm genuinely excited for the next 6 weeks. I am excited to watch Raw. I'm excited to watch SmackDown. I'm just like, this is fun. WWE is fun again. So with saying that WWE is fun again, that leads me into AEW, right? Okay. I'm coming to terms. I I'm not in love with AEW. And I think that's okay. And some people go, well, it's because you're not a wrestling fan. You're a sports entertainment fan. And I go to that. That's a dumb thing to say. It's all wrestling and it's all sports entertainment. And I just have my preferred brand and I'm okay with that. I'm coming to terms with that. But what I want is, I don't want to neglect AEW. I just don't think I'm the right guy to be telling everybody, you know, what's good and what's bad about AEW. So what I'm looking for right now, I want to find somebody. They can come from TikTok. They can come from YouTube. They can come out of the fucking bushes. Mm-hmm. I want to find somebody to be an AEW correspondent for us. Somebody that could come on the show and we could pre-tape it. They could come on live, whatever works for them. But that I can just ask my questions to. Yeah. And they can explain to me why I'm wrong about the things that I'm asking, because I have a lot of crazy thoughts when I'm watching AEW and I need somebody to kind of break it down for me.
Okay.
And I have 2 suggestions. It's 2 guys that I was watching live earlier. One of these 2, or hell, both of them could come help me out. And that's J Knows Wrestling and Just Observing 81 from TikTok. I would love for those guys to come on. And I think, you know, they may not be AEW experts. And I know Jay will probably come on and just make it a fucking, 15 minutes of comedy, which I'm all about. Yeah. If he wants to come on and we just shit on it together, I'm all good with that too. But we need some kind of AEW correspondent to help us out, right?
Yes, definitely.
I saw their live earlier today, and they know too much about wrestling is my problem. I'm a guy who doesn't know shit. I get on here, I talk real confidently, I say things real loudly, and I have fun. Those guys actually know wrestling, and that's cool. It was fun to watch them. J Knows Wrestling. Follow, if you don't follow them, follow J Knows Wrestling and Just Observing 81.
Got it.
I enjoy both of their content a lot. All right, let's go to the dirt sheets.
Dun, dun, dun.
Before we do that, just a reminder, we are running a YouTube contest. Follow us on YouTube and leave a comment with hashtag Notorious NerdyD, and in the comments leave your favorite match from the Elimination Chamber. But we got breaking news earlier tonight.
All right.
Jeff Hardy is confirmed that he is going to AEW. Jeff Hardy is officially all elite.
Dang.
Via an article I read on SE Scoops, Hardy has been rumored to be joining his brother Matt in AEW previously, but no report had officially confirmed these rumors until Jeff himself appears to have confirmed the report. Speaking with Jared Myers, Hardy declared recently at one of his concerts that he is, quote, going to AEW and that he is excited to join the company. Good for him. Good for him, right? I imagine he'll be happier in AEW. The Hardys, it just feels like wrestling altogether is better when the Hardys are together. Now, I've taken shots at Jeff Hardy over the past year.
Yeah.
I've said I think that he should be accountable for the things he's done in his past, but that doesn't mean I have ill will towards him going towards the future, right? He's another guy that I feel like fits the AEW mold, and this is probably where he belongs. And I question, I wonder, will we ever really figure out or find out the true story about what happened in Edinburgh, Texas?
So didn't he get drug tested and it came back negative, right?
I don't know.
That's what I read. I could be wrong.
Yeah, I don't know. And I'm not going to pretend no, I never dug deeper into the situation. I gave my opinion was that someone who has a history of drugs, you're going to get suspicion of drugs. It looks to be that's not what it was. It looks to be like he might have just been irritated with WWE, right? But I don't understand what he was irritated with WWE about, because he was on the path, it looked like, to bringing back an old character, Willow, and he was headed towards a feud, it looked like, with Roman Reigns. So he was going to get some main event attention, but I don't know the ins and out of the business. There could have been other things going on where he felt disrespected or he didn't like what was happening. So I'm glad he's going there. He fits the AEW mold. My only problem is here we go again, right? It's another guy, get in line. Where does he fit in AEW? Is his ceiling really going to be higher in AEW than it was in WWE?
I have no idea.
Because, I mean, the list of guys that we now have in line to win the AEW championship, it seems like it goes on forever. And they do tend to have longer runs. So, I mean, it could be 4 years before Jeff Hardy even gets to sniff that belt.
To sniff the belt.
Yeah.
I like it.
In other news, JBL says he wants to manage Happy Corbin.
Okay.
So I think Corbin needs to jump all over this, right? WWE, both of them, jump all over this, because I could fantasy book this to death, right? Mm-hmm. Here's how we book this. We go Madcap Moss and Corbin. They're inevitably going to split, right? At some point, they're going to split, and let Madcap Moss go over. Give him the rub. Corbin, it doesn't matter if he loses. In fact, it actually probably benefits his character to lose. And Corbin will go from Happy Corbin back down to Bum Corbin, right?
Yeah.
It's because he lost to Madcap, lost to his best friend. Things aren't funny anymore. And while he's down, all of a sudden, JBL will show up. And JBL kind of back in that like stock tycoon, big businessman gimmick. I think he takes on Corbin as a protege. Uh-huh. And he teaches him that, look, man, you can't just hit it big in Vegas. It's going to take a lot of hard work. And we get a lot of training montages, right? Of like Corbin wrestling at like JBL's mansion, and there's ropes made of gold, and he's showing him like hard work will get you these things. And I think that eventually it builds to a match between, if JBL has one left in the tank, it builds to at least some kind of blow off between JBL and Corbin. Mm-hmm. And Corbin kind of assumes the JBL gimmick from that point on, because he already has the ability to annoy a crowd. Mm-hmm. And that's kind of was JBL's thing, was to be dominant but annoying. But I think Corbin needs a title run here pretty soon of some sort. Intercontinental, United States, whatever it is, but not as the Happy Corbin character. I'd rather see it as like a cocky, arrogant JBL style of Corbin.
Ooh.
I think that would be more fun to watch.
Yeah. Well, keep an eye out for that.
You know what else I'm keeping an eye out for?
What?
That was a nice transition. You set him up, I'll knock him down.
Yeah.
Kenny Omega has come out and talked about how the AEW video game will compare to WWE 2K22.
Okay.
So speaking about how their game, he spoke out about how their game will fare against the competition. Omega admitted that their product would never be able to compete with WWE's production values. Get it? Don't think it needs to. He says, we'll never be able to compete with the production value of WWE's games. 2K22 is absolutely gorgeous. I'm excited to see all the bells and whistles when it finally releases. For us, rather than pushing the envelope drastically or anything like that, we just want the wrestling to feel like it used to feel for people, said Kenny Omega, who would play wrestling games back in the day and just have fun with fellow wrestling fans. I like this. This is an honest, this isn't a bullshit answer saying this game is going to compete. We've had all these, I've had people tell me, oh, just wait for the AEW game. It's going to be amazing.
Yeah.
I think it's going to be a good game. I think it's going to be very similar to WWE No Mercy and WrestleMania 2000 on the Nintendo 64. And that's what people want. That's what we've been asking for. 2K22 is going to be the big flashy Ferrari that breaks down, right? It's going to be buggy. Mm-hmm. It'll have its defenders. I will play it because I like WWE games. Even when they're a piece of shit, I still play them. But that's, we know what we're going to get with 2K22. It's going to be the same old, right?
Yes.
I truly think Kenny gets it. I think Kenny Omega gets it. I'm glad he's heading up this game because we want a wrestling game to play with friends. It doesn't have to be super flashy. Uh-huh. And within that, give us a legitimate GM mode with like a deep, nerdy style management system. That this is what the AEW crowd is built for. And that's, I'm not taking a shot at them with this. Like the AEW crowd likes like the analytical and the deep GM stuff. Mm-hmm. And so I think that like build in a good GM mode and just a game that plays like No Mercy, and that's all you need. This isn't a market where you have to compete with WWE.
True.
I ran across a story where Big E admits to that reuniting with the New Day caught him off guard.
Really?
Yeah. Unfortunately, I think I called this from the beginning, right? I said that his reign was going to be cut short because of his ability to be, or his tend to be like a comedic wrestler, right? And the IWC fucking came after me when I said
Hell
that.
Yeah.
I was called a racist. I was called, I'm just an idiot, fucking stupid.
Nothing about
It's one of our best performing videos is when I actually took shots at Big E. And I wish I wasn't right. It wasn't me wishing ill will upon him. It was me looking at the history of WWE and them not treating comedic champions in high regards, right? I had a video saying Big E was too comedic for a long title run. And that's what happened, right? And that's actually a compliment, though.
Yeah.
Big E is part of what I still consider to be the most over and possibly the best tag team of all time.
I'm going to second that.
Right? So why fight that? Why do you feel like you need to go do something else to be legitimate? You are the best at what you do. Will Ferrell is a comedy legend, right?
Yeah.
I don't give a fuck when Will Ferrell goes and makes a serious movie. That's not what I'm going to see.
No, it's almost creepy.
It doesn't even feel right. Big E is a tag team wrestler. He is the anchor of the New Day. The New Day need to go in there into Vince McMahon's office and they need to demand to be paid like a big time wrestler, right? Because they're a big draw. They're a big part of the WWE.
Yes, definitely.
But there's definitely staying power for Big E and being the anchor of the best tag team in professional wrestling. Like, why break away from something that is so good and so familiar and that whether they're face, whether they're heel, they're always going to be a main attraction, right? Mm-hmm. All I want from the New Day, this is all I want from the New Day. I want an angle where at some point in time in the near future, they go after Brock Lesnar as a unit and they get their revenge because Brock Lesnar ended Kofi Kingston's title reign. Brock Lesnar ended Big E's title reign. Even before that, you could have Xavier get screwed out of something by Brock Lesnar. But at some point in time, as a collective unit, the New Day just needs to go beat the life out of Brock Lesnar. And I'm team Brock Lesnar. But I just feel like, karma is a son of a bitch, and he's kind of owed that, right?
Yeah.
New report says that Bobby Lashley will need surgery. So this is just kind of quick news. So according to a report, Bobby is legitimately hurt. We spoke about this earlier. What does that mean for the Madison Square Garden show? I think they've got a replacement in mind, a surprise, something big. Who will that be? I have no clue. So I'm going to ask our listeners, who do you think will be Brock Lesnar's opponent at the March 6th Super Show at Madison Square Garden? You guys tell me.
All right.
Because if Bobby's legitimately hurting out for 4 months, it's got to be somebody else, right?
Okay.
Last story of the night here. WWE changes the main event of WrestleMania 38.
Okay.
So WWE on Fox revealed a new poster for WrestleMania 38. And it's worth noting that Lesnar has originally referred to this match as a title versus title match, correct?
Okay.
But the poster only says champ versus champ, which insinuates that possibly this match is not for both belts.
True.
That's a ballsy move by
They would put
WWE.
an S at the end.
Well, no, but champ versus champ just means it's two guys with belts fighting. Title versus title means both titles are on the line, right? That's
True.
that's a ballsy move when you actually put the belt on both guys to go into WrestleMania and go, oh yeah, even though both these guys have titles, it's not for both titles. How are you not going to unify them, or at least not unify them, but let one guy be a two belt title holder, right? I think if this is real and not just like an oversight from WWE, this will immediately kill the allure of this match. If we find out that only one guy is capable of winning both belts, it doesn't make sense, right?
I agree.
I mean,
Well,
we keep hearing about like, oh, the networks, they don't want to play together, but fuck Fox, fuck NBC, WWE, you gave us Brock versus Roman Reigns with 2 titles in the match. It can't be champ versus champ. It's got to be title versus title. I don't even know how this makes sense at this point, right? What is the universal, what is it on the line for? If Brock loses, what, he still walks out with his title?
yeah, that makes absolutely no sense.
It doesn't seem like the stakes are that big. And it almost, if this is the truth, it sets up the logic that ensures Roman Reigns will win, because if they're under this belief that both brands need a title belt, then Roman has to win so they can both walk away. The reality is that if the Universal title's on the line, if Brock wins, he leaves with 2 belts. But if Roman wins, he only leaves with his belt. It doesn't make sense. Like, there's no way you can sell that match to me in that way.
I agree.
All right, let's get to this week's burning question. You almost missed that. I saw you sliding up that slider right at the right time.
Did it.
Ooh. All right, so this week we're going to be ranking. I talked about this, I think it was either last week or the week before. It was something I've been wanting to do, and I thought no time like the present after the big night that the women had at Elimination Chamber. So I want to rank the women's wrestlers from AEW and WWE because, like I always say, those are the only 2 companies that matter to me, right? I'm going to do a top 10 list here on the podcast, and then we'll post a full top 30 list on TikTok and Instagram, okay?
Okay.
Now, I've come to terms with something. I talked about it a little bit earlier, but I've come to terms with something in the last couple weeks, and it's something I've been told over and over. I'm not a wrestling fan. And that's a stupid thing. I hate it. Sounds so stupid, but I've come to terms with, if this is what they want to label me that, right? I am not a fan of the actual art form of wrestling. My enjoyment doesn't come from the 2 sweaty guys or girls grabbing each other and flipping each other around. I respect it. I see it as an integral part of story, but it's not what I look forward to. I am an entertainment person, right? I enjoy the story. I enjoy the lights. I enjoy the smoke, the pyro, and the attire. I enjoy the entire experience of wrestling, right? I like charisma. I need a good guy. I need a bad guy. No matter how blurry those lines are, I need some semblance of good versus evil. I want to love the bad guys, hate the good guys, vice versa. I need all of those elements. You can't put 2 guys in a ring, which is why I don't think I love AEW all the time.
Yeah.
You can't put 2 random guys in the ring and expect me to get excited about it. It's not what I do. So this list will eat the souls of the IWC. This list is based on my opinion of drawing power, entertainment value, and just like overall professional scripted wrestling. That's what this list is based on. It's not based on who is the best wrestler. And by wrestler, I mean the person who can flip people over the most. You can go if you need to go to the bathroom. And you can walk in front of the camera. It doesn't hurt anything. So this list isn't going to promote the person who knows 1,000 holds. It's not going to promote someone who spent 35 years in Japan in a Japan dungeon learning the Iron Dragon nipple clamp twister move, right? No, let's get it out right now. Let's get right into it. This is strictly about who I find entertaining and who I think is the most over with the crowd. So I'm going to work backwards from 10. And we're going to start with number 10. And number 10, I have Asuka. And I put Asuka at 10 because I think when she is healthy, she's colorful, she's got a cool entrance, she pops, she tends to connect with the audience, even though her English is a little bit broken. She's believable in the ring, and she's unique in WWE to say the least. In a world where a lot of girls kind of look like they come from a mold, Asuka at least looks different than all those people. So I felt like at number 10, that was kind of my baseline for where I would work my way down this list. I originally kind of had her at 8, but I thought 10 was more proper for that. So then we go to number 9. And this is somebody who moved around my list, but I think at number 9, this is the proper place I have her right now, but she's definitely trending towards the top of this list, and that's Naomi. I haven't watched one match with Naomi where she's in the ring with somebody that's top 5, where she doesn't completely hold her own. She never looks out of place. She always looks like she belongs, right? And I think all that Naomi needs is just more time. She needs to be given more time and more story, and she'll work her way up that ladder. And I definitely think her potential, her ceiling is much higher up on this list. Mm-hmm. I don't think that, the glow gimmick, it's a crowd pleaser, man. Crowd loves it.
I look forward to it.
So just that alone, but Naomi on her own is solid.
She's a good wrestler.
Definitely. And so I put her at number 9. I felt like that was a good place to leave her, right? Mm-hmm. So then we move down the list and we go number 8. And at number 8, I have Ronda Rousey, right? And I struggle with Ronda because there's so much to like about Ronda. And then there's a little bit not to like, right? Her drawing power is unlike anybody else. When you hear Ronda Rousey, people who aren't even wrestling fans, they know and they tune in, right? She has believability. You believe Ronda Rousey could beat anybody's ass that's in that ring.
Fuck yeah.
There's no question, right? And she's a real athlete, a real judo Olympian athlete and a UFC fighter. And every time I see her get in the ring, it looks like she's getting better at pro wrestling, right? Mm-hmm. I think she'd be higher on the list if it wasn't for the one huge flaw I see. And that's they got to just take the microphone away from her.
Yeah.
Just let her be scary. They need to give her an advocate, Paul Heyman, right? Like, give her someone like Paul Heyman to speak for her. And I think she immediately shoots up to top at least 4 on this list.
Okay.
It's just her mic ability and her love-hate relationship with the crowd that kind of hurts her. So that's why at number 7, and I struggled putting her here, was Bayley.
Okay.
Because she's been injured. And I know she's been out a while. And I prefer the hugger Bayley. I've always preferred the face Bayley, and to be honest, I haven't watched a lot of the heel Bayley, so I don't know how deep that character goes. But it seems to connect with the crowd, and every time I talk about the women's roster being thin, there seems to be an outpour of support for like, well, just wait till Bayley comes back.
Yeah.
Just when Bayley comes back, everything's going to be okay. So I assume I'm basing this a lot on just the hugger Bayley that I used to watch.
I liked her.
But I think she's over with the crowd. I think she's slightly more over with the crowd than Ronda is. And I don't mean she's a bigger draw. I just mean that the crowd kind of reacts to her on a deeper level. And I think that Bayley can carry a program. I don't think Ronda can. Ronda needs that other person to carry the program, and she can be the feature in it. Mm-hmm. At number 6, notice this is a WWE heavy list.
Uh-huh.
Alexa Bliss, okay? Alexa has all the intangibles, right? She's got the look. She's pretty skilled in the ring. She's not the best, but she holds her own. She's always had good gimmicks, from the goddess to the, what do we call this, like the creepy little fiend character. She's a little bit small, but she's squirmy, right?
Okay.
I guess that's how I'd explain it, right? She pulls off being smaller in a believable way, especially in a women's division, right? Mm-hmm. Now, I'm still interested to see where we go coming out of Elimination Chamber, because it almost felt like we were in between 2 gimmicks with Alexa Bliss. Mm-hmm. It didn't feel like she was fully committed to the Fiend. I'm just going to refer to her as the Fiend.
Yeah.
As the Fiend Alexa Bliss character. And it felt like we were getting glimpses of the goddess Alexa Bliss. And I think that's by design, right? I think she's supposed to be in like an existential crisis. Mm-hmm. But she sells merch. And little girls like her, and she moves. She moves the needle. So I think number 6. I think she definitely. When I look at my list, she's a bigger draw than Bayley. Bigger draw. She can be a bigger draw than Ronda. Ronda's just, or not a bigger draw, but just more over. I think she's properly sits at number 6. So then we go number 5.
Okay.
This is the one that's going to cause the shitstorm. Okay, be ready. This is the one where. This is going to piss the IWC off. This is going to piss, you fucking hate AEW. But this is going to piss all those guys that have heel in their name. They're all going to be mad.
All the heels.
But this number 5 is Britt Baker.
Okay.
And as good as she is, I don't know if she's WWE good. Or is she just a product of her environment? And I took a lot of shit. I made a video way back that said, I don't know if Britt Baker is as good as she appears to be, or if everybody around her is just that bad, right?
Yeah.
There's only one woman from AEW on my top 10 list, and that's for a reason, right? The AEW the women don't resonate with casual wrestling fans. You can laugh all you want at the Crayola box of hair colors in WWE, but that's all done by design, right? That makes them unique. They stand out. And that's not taken away from Britt Baker. She's got a good gimmick. She's put on some extremely good matches. Now, I believe that the crutch of blood in her matches, if some of the WWE girls could use blood, that's been a crutch that's kind of gotten her over.
Yeah.
And she does have a great gimmick. The dentist thing is it's awesome, right? But she reminds me of a guy like Michael Chandler from the UFC.
Okay.
And Michael Chandler is a guy who was a champion in another company and then came over to the UFC, and there was a lot of hype surrounding him, and then he kind of got fucked up by a couple guys, right?
Is that the little skinny one?
Not really skinny. She's like built like a bulldog, right? But that kind of reminds me of what I think about Britt Baker. And Michael Chandler holds his own in UFC, but he's not the man. And I kind of feel like if Britt Baker came over to the WWE, this is about the spot she would fill, the number 5 spot. She wouldn't get run over. She's definitely of the same talent level as my other top 4. But I don't think she runs over them as well. And I don't think she'd be more over than someone like who's number 4 on my list, Charlotte Flair.
All right.
Now, this is going to piss off the opposite side of the aisle, right?
Yes.
This may irritate some of the CWC because the CWC tends to be in love with Charlotte Flair. I've never seen that. I've never seen the reason to be in love with her. Charlotte is good at a lot of things. And that's what I described. She's good, right? But where is she really great? Right? She's a good wrestler.
Yeah.
She's good on a microphone. Not great. She's good. She has a good look. It's not the best look. If Charlotte Flair wasn't a Flair, what does her career look like? I think it's drastically different, right? She relies heavily on the Ric Flair gimmick. Everything from the music to the entrance robes, right? She seems to be also kind of an outcast in the locker room. So I don't know that she's this like goat that people want to make her out to be if she's not Ric Flair's daughter. And I also think the more bridges that Ric Flair burns, the less WWE will see her as a commodity. And as people like the top 3 on my list, as they begin to kind of ascend to their highest points, I think that she will lose that GOAT spot. All right, drum roll. This leads us into our top 3. And there was a lot of fluctuation in moving these top 3 around, but I finally settled on this is my top 3. And at number 3, it's Sasha Banks. And I had her everywhere from 1. I had her at 2, and I finally settled with her at 3. It feels like she should be number 2, right? But lately it feels like WWE has no clue what to do with her. They don't know what to do with her. I don't know. Is she hurt again? Like she came back for the Royal Rumble, but then she's kind of been MIA. Hopefully we'll see her this Friday on SmackDown. But
True.
I really thought that Sasha Banks versus Ronda Rousey was a better match for WrestleMania than Charlotte and Ronda, right? Every time I see Sasha Banks, the crowd pops. Every time I see her or we go to a WWE event in person,
Yeah.
I feel like she gets possibly the biggest pop if Roman or Brock's not there.
I agree.
She's over with crowd, man. And she has like this trifecta of fandom. Guys love her, girls love her, and kids love her. She hits all 3 of those demographics, right?
So you're loved by everybody.
And she's kind of the definition of like what I would call swag in WWE. She's the cool kid, right?
Yes.
She was in
definitely.
fucking Star Wars.
Was she really?
She was in the Mando, remember? She was one of the Mandos.
Oh, yeah. Now I remember.
But until we see what WWE kind of does with her, I think she's stuck at number 3 on my list.
Okay.
So then I think you should be able to decipher 1 and 2 as we move forward here. Number 2 is Bianca Belair. And this is going to be controversial, I'm sure, because, nobody wants to give Bianca the respect she's due. But somebody, please tell me what there is to dislike about Bianca Belair. Someone told me she cried too much one time. I've never noticed that, even since then. Like, so she's emotional, right?
Yeah.
Looks, check, right? Size, check. Athleticism, check. Style, check. Mic work, good enough. She's the female John Cena, minus some of the like corny gimmick stuff.
Yes, sir.
The crazy hair gimmick, it's so fucking over the top that it works, right? She's got this like 6-foot ponytail that she swings around. It's gotta make it harder to wrestle.
Oh, I bet.
So you should get bonus points for doing that, right?
Yeah.
And I believe that Bianca Belair only has upside. She's only going to get better. She's not going to get worse. She's not going to fall down this list. And she's not the new Roman Reigns. I hate that comparison. The crowds are responding to her. She's not being shoved down their throat. Her pops are big, but they're big when she's placed strategically in the right part of the card, right?
Yeah.
She's a great... Whenever I see Bianca Belair kind of open a show, I go, that's where she needs to be. Her energy it kind of sets the tone for the rest of the night, right?
Definitely.
I think if the match is booked correctly, Becky Lynch versus Bianca Belair can steal the show at WrestleMania. I truly believe that. The whole redemption story, and even if there's some kind of swerve that leads to like Becky retaining in that match, I believe they have the skill set to put on the best match at WrestleMania, which of course leads me to number one.
All right.
Becky Lynch.
Dun, dun,
The
dun.
WWE universe just loves her, right? I don't know what it is. She literally cannot turn heel. She has tried. She's made numerous attempts to turn heel, and she can't do it because the crowd just loves her. And she's even like fully embraced this new female douchebag character.
Uh-huh.
And she has the ability to carry a whole show. I do believe like Becky has the star power to be the top dog on a show. And not a lot of the women wrestlers can do that. In a show where like Brock's not present, Becky can be the main event, and the crowds they're okay with that, right?
Definitely.
And she slithers in and out of gimmicks so well, right? 1 minute she's the man. Ric Flair comes and shits all over that. So then now she's big time Bex, right? And like I said, if WWE plays this redemption story out with Bianca correctly, I think the fans are going to have to recognize Becky's part in being kind of the Joker to Bianca's Batman. We piss on WWE booking all the time, right? But if this thing comes full circle, from SummerSlam to WrestleMania, and we get a redemption story, boom, Becky doesn't need the title anymore to pop. I think there's a fun epilogue to this story when Becky loses the belt and she finally kind of has that mental breakdown where the ego is just too big and not having the belt drives her into like insanity. I think there's a fun story that leads to her refinding like that serious gimmick, the serious Becky Lynch, and that could parlay right into WrestleMania 39 against Ronda Rousey, right?
True.
I feel like it. So there's my list. My top 10 list for women's wrestlers is at number 10, it's Asuka. At number 9, it's Naomi. At number 8, Ronda Rousey. 7, Bayley. 6, Alexa Bliss. 5, Britt Baker. 4, Charlotte Flair. 3, Sasha Banks. 2, Bianca Belair. And number 1, Becky Lynch.
All right.
All right, let's go to the comments. What are we at time-wise here? I feel like we're running a little long.
An hour and 7.
Okay, perfect. I think we'll run out the end of the show perfectly. All right, so in the comments, this comes from friend of the show, once enemy of the show, I believe.
Okay.
I think Scott CR27 has told me on numerous occasions that when he first heard me talk, I annoyed the shit out of him.
Okay.
But then he came around. He stuck around long enough to understand that I'm running a gimmick, right? This is my gimmick I'm running here, and that ultimately I'm lighthearted and I'm just having fun with what I do, right? But Scott CR27 said, I had no idea what liquid death was till I saw your podcast. Now I have a 10-year supply. I'm going to take every chance I can to take a shot at liquid death at this point, right? Because I love it.
Yeah.
I love liquid death. The fact that I'm here drinking Chuck Norris premium artesian C-Force piss water. The fact that I'm drinking this, it hurts me. It hurts me that I can't drink my sweet, sweet liquid death. Look, liquid death, I'm not going to stop. I'm not going to stop. Obviously, I can do this every week. I will do this every week. If we can't come to some terms, some sort of civil agreement here, and the only civil agreement that works is obviously you sending me a liquid death title belt.
Oh, yeah.
Then like I said, if I don't get acknowledged next week, I'm going to give out a beatdown to that Liquid Death mascot guy. You think I'm kidding? I will find him and I will beat him down.
Get him.
Second thing from the comments. This is less of a comment and more of something I came across that I just thought was so cool that I wanted to show it to everybody and kind of spotlight it so that people could go see it for themselves and follow this guy on Instagram. His name is I am AMLNG. I am ALNG. God damn, I am fucking that up. I am LNG. It's kind of a tongue twister for me, right? And it's art by LNG. And you can bring up the graphic on that one.
Okay.
He does these. I mean, these were my favorite.
Cool.
He's got lots of cool different things. He's got a cool picture of Logan Paul with a WWE title, which is really cool. But for some reason, I was fascinated with these like chibi character, like baby renditions of the WWE female superstars. I thought this was so dope. Like art, stuff like that impresses me so much because I guess I've always been a fan of like artistic things, even though I can't draw. I'm talented in graphic design and like making all this stuff look real pretty, but I can't draw. I can't make art with my hands. So I'm fascinated by that. And then I love colorful art like that.
Yeah,
and
like pop art stuff.
Yeah, like pop art. That shit's so impressive. So shout out to LNG. If you don't follow him on Instagram, make sure to go follow him. If I don't know if he has a TikTok. If he has a TikTok, follow him there too. But cool, really cool shit, right?
Awesome.
All right, yeah, that means we're at the end of the show and it is time for 20 questions. And I've been killing the game in 20 questions, guys. I've been killing the game. I don't, at this point, I don't know that anybody can stop me. Mm-hmm. Now, where does this one? This week's comes from Tia
Bigley. I think I said it right. Hold
Tia.
on.
So this week's 20 questions comes from Tia. And I'm ready to nail it. I'm thinking we got it in 11 last week, right? I did 11.
You did.
Ain't no we. I got it in 11 last week.
We did. We're a team.
And this week I'm
Tia Blakey. 5.
Okay, cool. This week I'm gonna do it like 7 because I'm just like I'm that swagged up right now.
We'll see.
I got the title belt. I've been fucking drinking Chuck Norris Sea-Force piss water. Like so my ass whooping abilities is on another level right now.
All right, let's get it.
Is this person associated with WWE?
No.
Go fuck me. Oh
Okay.
shit. All right. Is this person associated with AEW?
Yes.
Okay. All right. Little less confident about that getting it in 7 at this point. You guys went AEW on me after I just like confided in the listeners that I need an AEW correspondent, right? Is this person a current champion in AEW?
No.
Okay. Has this person ever been a champion in AEW?
No.
Okay. Is this person in a tag team?
No.
Okay, AEW star, single star, not in a tag team. Assuming, is this a guy? Is this a male superstar?
Yes.
Okay, so it is a male superstar. I was there for a second. I almost got off track. Could have been a woman. All right, so male superstar, AEW, singles wrestler, not in a tag team. Where do we go from here? Hair? Does this wrestler have long hair?
No.
Short hair wrestler.
No. Wait, yes, short hair wrestler.
Yes, I mean if it's not long hair,
yes,
it's
short hair.
That's
yes.
really not. I guess bald, but I'm gonna assume.
Yeah.
Does this wrestler wear long tights like pants? No.
No.
Okay, so it could be shorts or it could be underwear. Does this wrestler wear the underwear style trunks?
No. Wait. Yes, he does. Yes, he does.
Okay, so he does.
He does.
Okay, so he does. So he wears the undies. This person wears the underwear style trunks. Male wrestler, not a tag team wrestler. AEW. Short hair. Wrestling the underwear trunks, right?
Mm-hmm.
Is this person white?
Yes, he is.
Yeah, that doesn't narrow it down very much in AEW, does it? They kind of have a little race issue going there, they've heard. Okay, so not in a tag team, but is this person in a faction of any sorts? Not that narrows down anything either.
Yes, they're in a faction.
They are in a faction?
Uh-huh.
Okay. How many questions is that?
You are at 11.
So, okay, so yeah,
You didn't make your
we blew
7.
right through that. That's
Yeah.
Okay, hold on. So this is the contemplate, because I've been kind of like laying out a strategy.
Okay.
If I can get to their in a faction, it almost feels like it makes sense. The way I got to it last week was by getting to the New Day.
Okay.
So I feel like if I can get to the faction, I have a better opportunity of coming up with who it is. So let's just start with some factions. Let's go inner circle.
Okay.
Is this person in the inner circle?
No.
Okay, is this person in, what else is there? The Dark Order.
No.
Shit. I don't know. Is this person in the Best Friends?
No.
Okay. Is this person in what's the the Hardy Family Organization? Are they in the Hardy Family Organization?
This person is, you said in the Hardy family?
Yeah.
No.
Okay. The Elite.
No.
What else is there? Who? America Top Team.
No.
Fuck. What? How many did I just blow through right
You're
there?
like at 17, bro. I don't think you're getting this.
How many? Fuck. AEW has so many factions, right?
Mm-hmm.
Shit. Who? I'm at what?
This will be your 18th one.
So I'm on 18?
Yeah, you got 2 more.
All right, I gotta be
then.
careful here. I mean, I think I've committed to factions and I've eliminated so many that I might as well going. What is Taz's? FTR?
Let's see, FTR?
Mm-hmm.
Taz's group, you said FTR,
Is
right?
he, yeah.
No.
So this person's not an FTR?
No.
Okay.
Yeah, this is going to be your 19th.
This is 19.
Mm-hmm.
What other group is there?
I can't tell you.
I said the Elite.
Mm-hmm.
I said the Best Friends. We got a white wrestler.
Yep.
Where's the Manderwear, the Minderwear, the underwear?
Mm-hmm.
Not in a tag team, but is in a faction. Short hair.
Uh-huh.
That doesn't narrow it down. That was a horrible line of questioning. I thought I would get to faction much sooner. Okay. Trying to think. It could be. Is this person? Is this person in the Pinnacle?
Yes.
So this person's in the Pinnacle. Okay,
Yes.
so I got there.
Yeah, one last question, then you're done.
Do I get another question or does it?
That was 19.
But typically in 20 questions, you have to.
You have to guess on the
The
20
last question has to be the guess, right?
Guess it. Let's go.
So I have to guess who it is.
Yeah.
That seems like bullshit.
Who is it?
All right, so if we're gonna go Pinnacle, that means there's. If y'all were assholes, you're going with the Cash Wilder and Dash or whatever their names are. I don't think you're going there. That means it could be Sean Spears, the chairman. It could be MJF, or it could be Wardlow. MJF seems way too obvious. I don't think you would go with MJF. That seems like you think I'd get that right off the bat. So between Wardlow and Sean Spears, I got to take a shot in the dark right here on 20.
All right.
Fuck it. Is it Wardlow?
No. It is not.
Who was it?
MJF.
Oh, you motherfuckers.
Got him.
I thought that just seemed, I should have got there faster. And there was probably a better line of questioning to get there.
Yeah, but it is what it is.
There's so many factions in AEW. So many factions.
There's so many wrestlers that I feel like aren't even wrestling. We were talking about Miro earlier, how he just kind
He
of
just disappeared. He's gone. But
Yeah.
now they got Jeff Hardy, boy.
Yeah.
Just
So everything's good now.
Just
They've
add
got
another
Jeff.
one to the list. What was that? What was that Greenbeard told me? It's only 40% of the people who've been released.
Yeah.
Well, hey man, it's like 40.5 now.
Yeah.
But this has been another episode of the Notorious NerdyD Casual Wrestling Podcast. Make sure to tune in every week for our crazy insights into wrestling. Also, make sure to subscribe to the YouTube channel. We have a contest currently going. Make sure to leave a comment on this video with the hashtag NotoriousNerdyD and your favorite match from Elimination Chamber. As always, I'm NerdyD. That's Level Up Lauren. And you could ring the final bell.
Ding, 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 ding.
Big it